Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Cat and the Degenerates. Today is Thursday, and like every Thursday, we have a guest today, Ryan Michael. Again, we can always see you can always see us on YouTube or Apple Music Podcast or Spotify. Ryan Michael, how are you doing today?
Good fellas. How about you?
Oh, we're doing good. We're
Doing
doing
good.
good. Welcome to the podcast. What have you been up to?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. So it kind of just a lot of work, hanging out with the family and watching some sports too, figuring out what the good bets are. So
I got you.
otherwise not too much though. Not too
Yeah,
much.
you see my Brewer jersey?
I
It's
love
an
that.
official one. Who
Is
was it
that's
again, Chris? Smurs?
Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder. He's as big as me.
icon, Brewers icon. I love that.
There you go. You see, I'm already doing good in baseball, Smurfs. You see that?
You
But
don't
yeah.
know any baseball.
Well,
Well, speaking of baseball, though, Ryan, Chris, obviously you guys are two big supporters. Chris, the Cubs, Brian, the Brewers. Um, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the season this year as it was 60 games, the playoffs being extended, and then basically playing every game until you advance?
mm,
Yeah, going into the year, I was happy that they were at least able to come to something because it was looking bleak for the longest time, man. I mean, Manfred was on one side, the players were on the other side, and it was a mess, but they got it done. I mean, it probably wasn't the best circumstances, but they got it done. 60 games, it's tough to have like a full sample size, but they did it. The expanded playoff was kind of cool, at least for this year. I don't know how I feel about it going forward. I kind of like the smaller teams, like the 4 and the 5. But I mean, overall, they got it done. My Brewers, man, they got they got to the playoffs, but then they ran into the Dodgers and things didn't turn out so well. But overall, I feel like given the circumstances, they're doing what they can.
oh, real quick.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I mean, I liked it. I think it was.
go ahead. Go ahead.
That's how you go.
Okay, so real quick, the Dodgers here, right? The Dodgers are 1-1, right? The Dodgers against the Rays. Dodgers first game they beat the crap out of them 8-3. I don't know if it's that's a big, blowout or not. But the next game they only lost by 2, like 6-4. So do you think, that first game for the Tampa Bay Rays, you think they were just like, like first game jitters or whatever?
Yeah, I don't. LA is a good team. I mean,
Mm.
it's gonna be a dogfight. They kind of got their footing in game 2. The Rays did. They kind of got their bats to wake up a little bit. I'm rooting for the Rays, man. I really am. I don't have a whole lot of beef with the Dodgers, but just with 2018 with the Brewers and the Dodgers, that whole spiel, and then this past year they lost. It's gonna be a good series. I think it's gonna go down to like 6 or 7 games, honestly. So we'll see how it goes, but we're in for a dogfight.
Now, for the people that don't really watch that much baseball, like someone like me, for example, I've been to like maybe what 2 baseball games at Miller Park,
How
and
many?
what
How many do you remember?
one because the other one I was with my mom, so like I had to behave. But kind of explain to us how the season works and how the postseason is. Who makes it? Is it like the top 4, top 3 of each division, and how does that go?
Yeah, well, it's different, obviously, as you can imagine for this year. But
Hmm.
basically, like most years, they do the division winner. So basically, there's 3 different divisions, I believe. Is it 3?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 3.
3.
3,
Yep.
and then they have 2 wild card teams. So
Mm.
5 teams. There's the AL side and the NL side, and then the wild card teams play each other. It's a 1-game playoff, and
Oh.
people go back and forth about if it should be 1 game, if it should be more than that. But the wild card teams play, and then after that, it's 4 teams remaining on each side. They play a best of 5 in the division series, and then you roll into a 7-game series for the championship series. So like
Mm.
the final 4, the last 2 in each league, and then the winners of those 2 play in the World Series. And it's fun, man. Baseball is not for everyone. but it's for me. It's for a lot of other people. It's a different game than a lot of other sports, but I
Yeah,
appreciate it. There's a
yeah,
lot that goes into it.
of course. And Chris, do you prefer watching the games live or on TV? Because I prefer to watch it on
Uh,
TV.
I think you're a psychopath. I think live is just way better. And honestly, I'd rather go watch like single A ball and like be up close and be able to experience that and like the mascots in between innings and all that kind of stuff than like pro ball. Obviously, that's coming from somebody who played like baseball up until 8th grade, then played 1 year JV and said screw it. But I don't know, minor league ball is always, it just seems like there's more passion behind it, which I enjoy. But I do have a question for the two guys who played baseball collegiately. I've always thought with baseball being so poor at marketing, whether it's players or just kind of in general, compared to some of the other big sports, wouldn't you almost rather see like all 5-game series instead of like, as you get towards the end with the World Series, you see 7 games. I always would kind of like 5 because I think you could throw your best guys right away, all that fun stuff. What do you guys think?
Ryan, you can take it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about just like more playoff games in general.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to get behind a full 7-game series for somebody who like isn't incredibly invested in baseball.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of different factors with like marketing players and marketing the sport. I think that goes into it. That piece though, I honestly, I'm going to go back to that wild card bit because I feel like when you play, and it's usually 162 game season, obviously it wasn't this year, but like, it's a marathon, man. But yeah, I just think like when you get to that wild card round and you only have one game and you played 162 games and then you get to that one game and like your season could end. I feel like you could do a 3-game. I feel like you could do a 5-game series with that. I think that would help a lot. I feel like with revenue and then also with that marketing piece with the players and the sport in general. I won't get too far into it with Manfred, but I don't think he's the guy. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I don't think
you can have a few minutes to shine. Knock yourself out. Go nuts.
Man, so many things. The whole thing about how he handled the Astros bit with them cheating, and then there's just a lot that goes into it. The minor league salaries with the players and the minor leagues. It's a lot of different moving pieces, man. But going back, like getting on the track here with the Manfred thing and the marketing piece, I think they could just do a better job, like letting the players be themselves. I think that's the biggest thing. Like the thing with baseball, man, is like those players are fun. Like you got Ronald Acuna, you got Mike Trout. You have so many like different personalities and like so many different backgrounds. Like there's stuff there, but like you also have to like have the brains and have the strategy and the focus to actually like go and implement that. Cause like there's a lot of fun players and baseball is really fun, but like the leadership part, I don't know. It's lacking a little bit.
Yes, I will say
that's just me.
I will say I've been to a couple minor league games when I was in Texas, which is right there. They had a AAA team, and it was the Astros AAA team. And I mean, these guys, I think they play with so much passion is because this is their life, and they haven't made it yet. So obviously they're grinding every single day, and they don't have 162 games. I want to say they play like 118 or something like that, which is still a lot.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But those guys are still fighting for their chance to get in the big leagues. And some of these guys that will make it to the big leagues will get called down immediately because they only got called up for an injury. So like the passion's there, and they got to show the big team, their big team, is that they want to be there. They're going to be willing to grind it day in and day out, and then leave their heart in the field. And if they can't do it, then if they don't want to do it, then why even be there at that point?
Yeah, those minor league teams, they're mostly like, they're showcases every single game, right? So you have to literally prove yourself every game, even in practice sometimes, because there might be scouts coming out and you're looking at you. So you're basically that pressure of being on your A game every single time you pick up a bat, you pick up your mitten, it's
a glove.
Hard. The glove.
It's a glove.
Is that a mitten?
It's like mitten. I think we can start rolling with mitten.
You could say mitt. You could say I'm like mitten. Like I live in the mitten. Like I live in Michigan.
Mitten.
The mitten is like you're like playing t-ball maybe.
Chris, I also think that the do or die on the wild card is insane. I think that's like a one game. Like, who doesn't want to watch? If it was like every game was like that, I think more people would watch that way. But I don't think it should be like that because you can have so many aces, like Kershaw against whoever pitched for the Rays. I don't even remember his ace.
He looked like Cillian Murphy with long hair. I don't remember his name.
Glass now?
Yeah,
Tyler
Glasnow.
Yeah.
He's a stud, man.
He's good, but like
What a looker, too.
Can I make a hot take while we're on this
Run
topic?
it.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
we're gonna just look at it from like the professional side. Don't worry about like the youth levels or anything. But just like of all the sport games professionally that you can go to, I'm gonna make the hot take that baseball's the best. To actually go to a game live, and watch it. I think it's the best. I think it's the best sport, man. To actually be there and watch the game.
I would say like a playoff game, like a playoff game, like a Brewers playoff game, which I've been to one. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was like the crowd is every pitch is insane. Like I also never been to a football game or any other playoff game, so that's my personal take on it. I would somewhat agree with you, but I would still go college football.
Listen right here. Okay.
Okay.
This is how I'd rank it. Okay. First of all, soccer. It don't matter if it's club soccer or an actual game like a Premier League or La Liga. I love it.
I just
We cut you off there
for a second.
because that's wrong.
Wait. Secondly, it'd be a good match of tennis. Okay, tennis. You're dialed in.
All right, now
Okay, Chris.
we're
Said
And then
just turn
3
some on mic.
NFL, 4 NBA, and 5 baseball. I'm sorry, man. Like
we're diving
baseball
in
is a
Hell's
little
Kitchen.
slow
That's a
for
little too
me,
much.
but it's still fun to watch. Though I like to see the stats and everything. That's why I like to watch it on TV because you get to see the little square for people like me that don't know
The strike
anything
zone?
Yeah, that thing, and then you can see if it's a K or not. I don't know if it's a K unless the umpire goes.
I mean, a strike? You don't call it
No?
a K, you call it a strike.
Yeah, a
A
K.
strike out could maybe, if you had the right word, you could say a K, but
You know what I mean.
no, they don't. That's why.
But yeah, that's what I would rank it. Because listen, it's
Said man.
soccer.
Said
wild.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better on a summer night like in July than just
Mm.
even if you don't care about baseball, just throwing back beers with your boys,
Oh,
having
100%.
hot dogs, and just chilling and enjoying a
not
summer
wrong.
night.
You're not wrong
And
there.
to me, people, and I said it, baseball's not for everyone. All right. And on TV, I don't think baseball is the most fun game to watch. I think, football is a lot of fun to watch on TV, especially when you get like in the fantasy side, but just like being in the summer atmosphere, enjoying the good brats, the good beer, and just watching with your people.
You're not wrong
I don't think it can be beat, but
You got me at
that's just
brats.
me. That's just me, man.
I think, and this is gonna sound weird coming from a Cubs fan that like watched way back when, like Garcia Parra, Sammy Sosa before he bleached his skin.
What?
Yeah, look at him now and look at him about 10
Yeah,
years
right.
ago.
Jesus.
I think Milwaukee and the Brewers, I guess is where I'm going with this, is like spoiled because Brewer Park before games.
Miller Park.
Miller Park. Yep.
Jesus
See, there you go.
Christ.
Before Wrigley West, before games, is a gnarly atmosphere. It's almost like a college football tailgate, except there's 81 of them, half the season or whatever it breaks down to.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. Tennis is just
Terrible.
I'm gonna chalk that up to the fact that you're like Asian, because that's just a wild. That's just a wild.
Have you ever watched a tennis match before?
Yeah, dude. I have an Andre Agassi shirt. I know tennis.
You do?
Yeah, Willie Mo
That's-
Conga or whatever
that's a
that dude's
legend.
name was.
Andre Agassi with the one hoop earring, bald headed man. It's gonna be me
Yeah.
in like 5 years.
All
but,
right.
like,
All right. Let's get off this topic.
Well, hang on here, real quick. I didn't even get my say. Cedric got tennis, and it's just
Sorry.
rattled me. I wouldn't say baseball is the best. I'm obviously biased. Soccer set is a bit bold. I would say European soccer, but obviously that's a big niche. Like not a lot of people in the States go experience that, but if you can, go do it
Unfortunately.
because it's crazy.
Mhm.
I would say hockey. Is,
Oh,
I respect
Oh,
that shout.
I fell asleep in a
I-
hockey game in Milwaukee.
Why?
What's the name
Why
of
would
their
that- why
Division
would that
Two
happen?
game? Their Division Two team?
It's called the
team,
minor
Admirals.
leagues. Yeah.
Yeah, the
it's
admiral.
AHL.
The admirals. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
That's not true. They're pretty good last few years. Anyways, I would say hockey. Even if you don't know it or understand the game, there's fighting. It's fast paced. It's up and down.
Big hits.
Big hits, big saves. Like my local AHL team does the same thing a lot of minor league baseball teams do. They do $2 dogs, $2 beers.
Griffins, Grand Rapids.
Yep.
Yep.
The Grand Rapids
Thought so.
Griffins love that.
Yeah.
I would say hockey has got to be, if not one, has got to be up there just because of the way it's played.
Mm.
Who's the affiliate to the Griffins? Are they the Red Wings?
Detroit, yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Hmm.
Ryan,
But-
you're a Blackhawks fan, right?
I am.
Or are
I
you?
am. Hey, and I get beef all the time about it, but I mean, like, I do like Nashville. Okay, so like Nashville, obviously the Milwaukee Admirals are the
Milwaukee,
affiliates of Nashville, but I've liked the Blackhawks before, like their whole dynasty. Just to let that known, put on record. All right, it was before all those championships, but yeah, I'm a Hawks guy.
You're also closer. Would you say you're closer to Chicago than you are to Milwaukee? Like, is that closer to you personally?
Milwaukee, it depends. I'm closer probably to Milwaukee.
Okay,
I would say,
but not by
And
much.
not by a ton. I'm in Racine, so it's not either way. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of a lean towards Milwaukee, but yeah, I was just gonna say too with the Admirals because we brought it up. I've been to, of all the games I've been to more Admiral games than I've been to Brewer or Packer games combined. Like
Jesus.
those, yeah. So long story short, my dad's a season ticket holder and he's been for X amount of years. And I've been to 100 Admiral games, and Chris, I love that shout because hockey, I think it's like baseball in the sense that it gets overlooked, even though it's a really solid sport by a lot of people. So I appreciate that shout. I love hockey. I'm a big hockey guy.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a hockey household, so a little bit biased. I'm not even a Red Wings fan. I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, and that's
Okay.
Or Bruins fan.
Brutal. Cedric,
Ah.
you're a fan of whoever's winning at the time.
yeah. Cedric, you don't even.
Wait,
where
listen,
are the,
we
where
have
are the
a
Bruins from? Where are the Bruins from?
Philly.
Boston
God damn you!
Damn, that was close.
bandwagon.
Same
I
region.
literally just said the Philadelphia Flyers was the team that I support.
I knew that. But I'm a Panthers, okay? Go Panthers.
Where are the Panthers from?
They're actually in Fort Lauderdale. That's literally right next to my house. I literally drive past there. They're next to Sawgrass Mall.
Who just won the Stanley Cup?
Some very good team from America.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
From America,
It's in
we
your
got
state.
Yeah, fuck the Tampa
What are you
Bay.
doing?
We
I
narrowed it
like
down.
Tampa Bay. Well,
This
yeah.
is almost as bad as you saying you were gonna bet on Real Madrid over Cadiz, who's basically a Serie B team
Well,
or a La Liga B team,
And they
Well,
lost.
and they lost.
Bad.
yeah, I know. It wasn't. We lost in the Champions League too.
Yeah.
No, don't
was it
fucking start pulling that
yesterday?
out.
Which was very, very
Oh,
sad.
yesterday,
You know?
okay.
Yeah, yesterday
they lost
we lost.
bad. They
We
lost.
lost 2-3.
Yeah.
Literally 90th minute. We go and score, and apparently it was offside. I'm like,
Hey Chris,
come
I
on,
just want you to know
guys.
that eight guys from Shakhtar in the normal starting lineup were out with COVID and couldn't travel. So basically, Shakhtar beat them with their B team.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But yeah, speaking of soccer, we got some good ass games this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
We have here Wolverhampton Wanderers against Newcastle. Even
That's
though
not a good
people
game.
don't think that's not a good game,
Jesus.
no,
Not a
listen
good
up.
game.
Listen, Wolverhampton has been struggling, okay, since the beginning of the season. I've said it before in the last podcast.
Why are
They're
you
not
letting
doing
this?
very well. Okay, so a game against Newcastle, which is usually a lower table team, that will kind of test them as to whether this is just a, first games jitters, or is it actually an actual problem within the management or within the player? Because last year they had Diego Jota, and they lost him to Liverpool. And maybe, he was the key player. He was the guy that melded everything together. So, we'll see how they play against Newcastle. But I really like that game. I do.
I mean, there's just quite possibly 7 other games you could have picked right there.
Of course.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
Man
an-
U Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, we have Arsenal Leicester. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
big game. They both have the same
You could've
amount of
said that.
points. You know,
Yeah.
they're at Arsenal has minus 110 favorites, and Leicester is at plus 285. So I mean, it could have been a little bit closer, but I honestly believe Leicester might win this.
All right. Well, before we get into our picks, Ryan, I got a question for you.
Mm.
So last week, Yusuf kind of put Chris and Cedric on blast for some stories. I want to hear a good, doesn't have to be necessarily clean, but a decent story about me that you love to tell people.
Ooh.
Oh man. The whole freshman year, right? Oh, geez. Oh man. I
That's
don't know if I
funny.
can narrow it down, man.
Just keep it
I really
clean.
don't know. I think I got one. It was it was our races in Steinbeck Hall, second floor that we had
Oh my gosh.
What
around
happened there?
the lobby.
We would basically streak around our Steinbeck Hall, but we couldn't or bend our knees.
Mm.
Yep.
We had to run straight legged to see who could run around Steinbeck faster. That was Chris. I like your face there of like what's going on.
What the hell?
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Oh,
we had
that was
our
good.
share of like dorm stories that we could really get into if we wanted to, but that's very the college we went to, put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Without naming the college, it was a very, very that was the
It's
college
a
right
very,
there.
very college.
Hey, we had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Right.
Hey.
That's all that matters, but
we made
it's
the best
very-
of it.
It's very fitting.
We
yeah, I
learned some
enjoy-
things, but
To be honest, if I went to a bigger college, a state school or something like that, I probably would have dropped out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you basically
Going
almost
to
dropped out of
AA
this one
meetings,
anyway.
All that. I mean, yeah. Got suspended almost a couple times. I'm not gonna say exact number, but your boy got the diploma, okay? So we're all
Yep.
good.
Same here.
secure the bag, said. Secure the
There
bag.
you go.
After being told that I have one more strike left and I'm gone, I was living life high risky. I was high risk all my junior and senior year
I was high risk
with the
since I
stuff
got
we
there.
did. Yeah.
It was tough.
All right,
Yeah.
Ryan, let's get into the picks. We said we got 5 picks for the week.
Yeah. So I tried to have some fun with it. And I'm gonna be honest right now. I apologize. I don't have any college football. I know that's
All
gonna
good.
Me neither.
Smurs.
Me
I know
neither.
it's gonna be tough. Said I'm gonna kick it off with soccer. I feel like you're gonna like this show. I had to throw in one soccer at least.
Tell me.
And I don't know what the hell I'm doing with soccer, but I got Southampton and Everton. All right, they're squaring off on Sunday, I think, in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I got the over. Okay, 2.5 total goals is what I saw it at, and I'm feeling the over here. I think there's going to be some goals scored in this one. So, going over there. I don't know what do you guys think about that?
Listen,
'Cause I don't know.
Calvert-Lewin
I don't know,
is
man.
hot.
That's a good pick just based on the way
Calvert-Lewin
Everton's
is
playing.
hot. Okay, for someone that doesn't watch soccer as religiously as me or maybe Chris. I don't know if he watches soccer. He's kind of weird, but like for someone that doesn't really, that's not like a avid watcher. That's a very good pick.
That's a
Did you
good pick.
did you have someone
All right.
like? Did you call someone or
Hey.
text someone saying, "Hey, what do you think about this pick?"
Or did you just
So-
go off it?
So it was two different things. Long story short, I'm a bandwagon English Premier League guy. So like
Mm,
I'll watch it if it's on. Okay, I'll watch it because I really like soccer and I like the Premier League. I think the most out of any of the leagues. And way back when I was trying to pick a team, it was going to be Everton for the longest time. And then I got some buddies from college. They're like literally like, oh yeah, I'm trying to think like it was between Tottenham and Everton. And they
good thing
talked
you
me
picked
into
Everton.
Talking to the
They talk-
Spurs, huh?
they talked me into Tottenham said though. And
Lucky.
I had
Spurs.
on Everton. So long story short, I need to give my love back to Everton now.
There you
And
go.
I was also just looking at the best picks and I didn't want to make too much of a fool of myself. So
I mean, that's
Good
a
choice,
decent
good
pick.
choice.
It's
I got
solid.
I'm
it.
not gonna lie.
I got it. So I think there's gonna be some goals scored.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only soccer one I got. And then I'm gonna roll into my baseball. So game 3 is tomorrow. Rays Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Morton for the Rays is facing off against Walker Buehler. Two very good pitchers, starting pitchers. I have the under, so it's 7.5 runs total. I have the under in that one. I think the starters are going to get it done. I think they're going to go at least 5 or 6 for each team. Morton's pitching really well. Walker Buehler's very good too. The Dodgers, it was tough for me because I really like the Rays and I want them to win. I think the Dodgers are probably going to win the series. So I didn't want to pick a side or like a spread. So I'm going under on that one, 7.5. Smurs, what do we think real quick? Sorry.
I took the over. Just gonna throw that out there.
Okay. Chris,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, we're good. I
Hey,
don't
I
like
like
to bet
that.
over under. I don't bet over unders basically in
Okay.
baseball. It's just so hit or miss. But
Yeah, for sure.
all right, keep
well,
rolling.
I'll get you my 3 here. So I got 3 more NFL. I got Chargers. I have them covering at -8 against Jacksonville.
I like that.
They're coming off a bye week. Justin Herbert looks really, really good early on, at least. So I like them there. I got them at -8. Saints -7.5. I'm gonna pick them against Carolina. This is the one I probably feel like the least confident about. I think Carolina's pretty good, but especially even without Christian McCaffrey. But I have the Saints at -7.5. And then my last one that I got for you, Thursday Night Football, literally tonight. I got the Giants +4.5 against the Eagles. I hate touching NFC East because it's easily the worst division in football.
That's where the Lions should be.
Fucking A, right?
Honestly though, like it's brutal. Anyways, I'm gonna cover it. I picked up the Giants. I have a bye week in fantasy. Long story short, with the Ravens. So I picked up the Giants this week. We need the Giants, the G-men, +4.5. +4.5. They're gonna cover against the Eagles.
It's gonna be
Hey,
that's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be such a brutal game to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I also do think that Carson Wentz has been playing well late game against the Ravens or like the late games, but I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good. I think it's gonna be an ugly game. I think it's gonna be close. So I like the pick.
Yeah. Chris, what you got?
Well,
Oh, geez.
Well, I already had the over Dodgers 7.5. They're both good pitchers. I actually did a little bit of research on it, so I wasn't going in totally blind because I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention after the Cubs got knocked out. But
go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Get that out of
I think that it's going to be an absolute shootout. I think I could see like a 5-4, like maybe a 6-4. I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't know why. I don't necessarily have a whole lot of reason. I think both the pitchers are pretty solid. But I think this is the third game in the series.
Yep.
So
Game 3.
I think everybody's got some jitters out of them a little bit. Granted, it's still the World Series, so there's that. But I think everybody's going to play a little loose. So I like the over at 7.5. We'll go NFL. I had to take my Lions. We look good. I went mini viral on my video.
You did that. You did.
Mini? I have 1,600 views.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna ride that till probably my grave. That might be my one accomplishment that happens in my life.
I mean, they play the Falcons, so I think you. What do you got?
I just took them to win straight up.
Yeah, they're +2.5. The Lions are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly there's better odds. They're picking at +115. So a value pick. We'll dangle that in front of everybody. What else I got? I got the Steelers.
I got the Steelers too.
+1.
You had +1?
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you have?
I don't know. I just was asking. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, no, +1. That's at -105. So those are both 1 p.m. kickoffs. Yeah. So start off your Sunday. That's kind of how I like to go. And then I had to dip into the Big Ten a little bit. It's coming back.
I cannot wait for who you pick because I think I have it as well.
So I think it's going to be an absolute nightmare all around. There's a lot of teams that aren't great, and there's a lot of teams that are good, and there's very little in between. I took Ohio State against Nebraska, and I took the over at 68.5. And I think Ohio State could quite literally put up all of those points. Yeah. I don't see Nebraska being a threat to anybody, maybe like a Rutgers. I think Scott Frost
is a joke.
Yeah.
For Nebraska.
Scott
They-
Fraud.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like they took him because he's an alumni. I believe he won him a national championship or something when they were really good, but I just don't fucking see it. Ohio
Mhm.
State over 68.5 at -110, so not too bad. That's to start your day at 12 on Saturday. And then I've been a big Oklahoma State fan this year.
Oh, Chubba
Get the
Hubbard.
fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
Chubba?
No, I have.
Chubba.
They've been good to me. So I've got them at -3.5 at 3:30. So we got
Against
a little
who?
bit of everything. Who is it? It's a ranked game. It's Oklahoma State 6. They play like the 11. Who's the 11?
Is it Kansas State?
Maybe. I'm
Oh,
trying
they
to
play
think.
Is it Iowa?
Iowa State. Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State. That's right. There you go.
Cyclone.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, I think 3.5 -3.5 is not too crazy. They've been good. They're fast. They're exciting to watch nonetheless. And I think that honestly, I think that's going to be the best game of the weekend. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Watch it.
Mm.
Throw the house on the spread.
Yep.
Smersy?
That's what we got.
All right.
You
So
got
I
Smurfs.
am going to go with Chris on that one. I have Ohio State. I think the line was spread at -26, right, Chris? 26.5.
I didn't even look. I took the points right away.
Yeah. If it would have put it at -42, I still would have taken Ohio State because that's how much they're going to win by.
That
I
was going to be
have-
my pick. Ohio State was going to be my pick if I did go college. So I
Mm.
love those shouts. I love
Justin
those shouts.
Fields is just so good. I have tomorrow night the first Big Ten game of the year, Wisconsin, Illinois. I think Wisconsin's going to be on their revenge tour against Illinois from last year after ruining their college football playoff hopes, and they're -19 in Madison. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions about Wisconsin's offense, about who they're going to replace with Jonathan Taylor. But
Yeah.
Grammy Heisman, Graham Mertz is first collegiate start. Another
Hot take here. As Wisconsin boys, as you guys are, I think I might throw a little money on Illinois.
No way.
Illinois?
I think first
Ooh.
game, I think it's going to be a little bit of a shit show. You're at Camp Randall. I don't know if they're going to have fans or not, which is big.
Nope.
Mhm.
So even better.
That hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have Jonathan Taylor. He was arguably your offense, I would say. Graham Mertz seems like he's going to be a stud, but first collegiate start,
Could
at
be a hot
home,
mess.
jitters, nervousness. I'm definitely going to sprinkle probably my baseball money on Illinois, and I can't wait to shove it in everybody's face on Twitter.
Wrong. All right, Chris is gonna love this pick. Pittsburgh or Notre Dame travels to Pitt. Opened up at Notre Dame -10.5. I am taking Pittsburgh to cover that to not lose by 10 points because I think Notre Dame has looked like garbage the last couple weeks.
I would argue last week. You can't be a college football playoff hopeful and what a lot of people said and fucking put up only 12 points against Louisville.
Yeah. Yeah,
Our
that was my
issue-
pick. I thought you would like that.
I don't. Well, I kind of do. We have a really good defense, so that's probably going to be in our favor. But Ian Book is just hot trash. He's a very average quarterback. He gets a little bit of hype because he's at Notre Dame, and he gets a little bit of hype because he's
Ian Book.
somewhat mobile, like he can move a little bit. But it's very much like Cedric on like a 40-yard dash. It's just not pretty.
Not pretty,
And
but it
it's
gets the
slower.
job done.
And it's slower than expected. So I don't like it because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but as a gambling man, sure.
Ryan, you were gonna say something. What you got for me?
I was just gonna say, is Ian Book a senior?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
He's
Okay.
been at Notre Dame for what seems like 10 years. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like he's the Perry Ellis of college football. Like that
Yep.
dude just doesn't leave. But
doesn't
hey,
leave,
good for
yeah.
him. Good for him, man. Whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know. He's going to go on a practice squad and probably get like addicted to drugs or something.
All right, my last two picks. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going Bills -13 against the New York Jets, as the Jets are worse than a lot of college football teams.
Did you see the video of Sam Darnold at the practice?
What did he do?
And Joe Flacco's just like basically touching the football.
He's like giving him an OTPHJ as he runs like 10 yards.
Yeah. The last
I love
pick,
it.
Chris, is Atlanta Falcons covering -2.5 against the
Oh, you
Detroit Lions.
suck my dick. It's just not gonna happen. I
Falcons
think we're
looked
coming
really
really
good last week.
Double-digit win. I jumped in a fucking lake for him.
And you're gonna cry in a lake this week for him.
48-degree weather.
Are we gonna see that again?
I
This
may
weekend?
use a sandbag this time, and yeah,
Stay down.
yeah, stay down. Take a little, take a long breath. I mean, I what's it at?
-2.5.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. We're gonna win. We're gonna win by. We're gonna win by a field goal, and it's gonna cuck you.
All right, Sadie, hit it up.
All right. So my first two picks are gonna be NFL. Okay. First one, I got the Titans at -1, -115 against the Steelers. I honestly believe the Steelers have been lucky just winning every time. I know they have a well-rounded team, but
They're
I
undefeated.
don't know. I know. But so is the Titans. So
Wrong.
we'll see. But anyway, second game, I have the Cowboys at -105 taking the win right there. They're playing against Washington football team. So
Who's the Cowboys quarterback this week? Said
the Cowboys quarterback, what's his
Yeah.
name? He used to play for the Bengals.
Andy
Oh,
Dalton,
Andy Dalton. Yes.
the gingerbread man.
I was just about to say that.
I was really hoping you were going to say Dak because you're very
No, Dak
not
Prescott
in tune with
dislocated
sports in
his shoulder,
His
shoulder
ankle.
and his back
Nope,
and his
literally
his
opposite end of his
pelvis, his neck.
You're so
toe.
dumb.
Okay, and then my last three picks are gonna be Premier League. I got United at +145 against Chelsea
Gang, gang.
just to win
I don't
it.
hate. I don't hate that. Chelsea's been all
Chelsea's
over.
been garbage. I mean, they played a decent game against Sevilla, but there were so many holes in their play.
They did
So,
not play a decent game. They lost me my parlay.
Well, that's how it works, I guess. And then
Chris ain't over it either.
yeah.
No, there's a lot of money on the line. That would have been awesome.
And then I have Arsenal Leicester. I got Leicester at +285. I honestly think Leicester will literally come back up and beat Arsenal. They have the same amount of points in the standings.
it.
They're only the only reason Leicester is above Arsenal is by +2 goals, the goal difference. So it's gonna be a very nice game. And lastly, I got Wolverhampton against Newcastle. I got Wolverhampton at -125.
Can't wait
You
for
just-
Sad to go 1-4 again this week.
You're just sipping the Kool-Aid.
Oh,
Said you do know Martial is out for United, correct?
I know that, but Chelsea
Martial is?
sucks. And you know,
he's
But you know-
suspended to November 7th.
Chris, you know why?
Oh, Edison Cavani.
You know why I did not pick Chelsea,
Does
right?
not replace Martial.
No, I know, but Rashi's very good, so they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and the reason why I didn't pick Chelsea is because Yusuf loves them and I hate them, so we got to go against that.
Love it.
So yeah, but yeah, well, Ryan, thank you so much for coming to our show, our podcast, and hopefully we can see you soon again. Maybe in a month or two, or maybe when we come back, when the baseball season comes back. When did they come back? When did they start again?
Oh man, fingers crossed. Like it back in March, next March,
Yeah.
March,
Yeah.
March,
That's
April, March, April. But I don't know.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed, man.
Fingers
Guys,
crossed.
thanks for having me. Thanks
No
for having me.
problem.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the dynamic. I love the dynamic of this podcast. We got some good personalities. Chris, you're the brains of it all. Smurs, you throw in the
I like
content. And said you're the funniness. You're the funny guy.
I throw
man.
the content. I'll take that.
You got the content, boys. I love the dynamic. So
We
thanks
love
for
it.
having me on. Thanks for taking me serious. I don't know. Can you see this Tiger King
It's a
background?
beautiful,
See that?
beautiful
Okay.
tiger.
Hey, I love it. Hey, guys, appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks, Ryan.
guys. Well, thank you everyone for watching or listening. We're on YouTube at the Big Cat and the Degenerates, and we're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys, and have a good one.